Hello,
Hello, how are you?
ma'am. How are you doing?
Good. Baruch Hashem, okay.
Good,
Are you in
good.
town or are you in
I'm
China?
in town. I just got back last night.
Hmm?
I got back last night. It didn't
From?
work out because the timing was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Because
Oh, where were you?
I was in Antwerp.
Antwerp?
Yeah,
Wow.
I had a wedding.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was very actually it was very nice. Yeah.
You have family there?
No, but a friend of mine's kids live there,
Oh,
and so his grandson got married.
oh, that's good.
It was quite the event. Quite the event, over the top.
And do you see many Arabs there?
Quite a few, quite a few, quite a few. Yeah, especially in the airports, it's like a
Yeah.
zoo, a zoo. But I mean, it was we stayed in a hotel in the Jewish area, but there was plenty of them there.
Hmm.
They've taken over.
Yes, they are. Jorge,
Hello.
hello, George, how are you?
Good. What about you?
Fine, fine. Enjoying the heat?
No. I turn into a veritable vegetable other than when I can go swimming. But I live in LA, so I'm okay.
Where are we? Some of this, maybe?
Yes. What's the next Gemara we're gonna do?
It's
Orias?
Horrius. I think Horrius. I don't even know that.
I'll tell you which one it is.
Well, because I have the next one, but
A very small one.
Orias, yeah, it's small.
Orayot. Yep. It's
And
a
then,
grand total of 13 pages.
Yeah,
hmm,
actually 11. No,
Okay. Sorry.
13. 13. No, 13. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
We are on Samech Test 69. Nafal Luguchalamai. The mouse, the Achbar, fell into vinegar. What's the din? Amarle, Ravila Ravashi, Avu Uvde Be Rav Kan, Aser. He prohibited the mixture, Rav Kana. So he must have held that it's a noisin tam lishvach, not livgan, that it gives a better taste. That's why it puzzles. Amerle, there's no riot from there that he holds that noisin tam, that it's noisin tam lishvach. Because in that case, ahu imratuti imritit. There, the Achbar had broken up into small pieces. He prohibited because of the chashash that you might come to eat a piece of the Achbar, not the flavor only. Ravina Sovar, the She'uri b'mei v'chad. Ravina said that the bittul in such a case would be 1 in 100, not 160. Omer logora mitruma. It's not more stringent than truma. This non truma oile ba'acharumea. Truma's nullified 1 in 100. So Arle Rav Tachlifa Bar Gizl Ravina Dilma ketavlin shel truma b'gdei dami shlo batl tamaya. But spices of truma, there's no bittul at all because it has very strong flavor. It needs more. Period. So the comparison to truma doesn't work. Ravachai shir b'chala b'chamshin. He said that even though regular things, the bittul was with 60, With vinegar, you only need 50 because vinegar is so harif, it's so sharp. You don't need 60, 50 is enough. However, Rav Shmuel Bered Ravika, Shir B'Shichra B'Shisim. He said that beer is going to be 1 in 60. And in fact, Hilchasa Aida V'Aida B'Shisim V'chein Kol Yisurin Shebetoira. In general, all Yisurim are bottled 1 in 60. Now, Truma is 1 in 100, and Orlan Klakkerem is 1 in 200. In the Mechaber in Shulchan Aruch says it's based on you ask a goy to taste it. If he doesn't taste it, even if it's 1 in 50, it would be kosher. The Ramah already said that Achshav Mishar Makol B'Shishim. We don't go after Kfela. We don't give it to a non-Jewish chef to taste. It's all 60. That's min b'she'eno mino, like milk in a chulent. But milk and milk, min b'mino, where they have the same taste, midrabanon shiru b'shishi. We already learned midraisa, min b'mino is good with rov. But and midraisa they said you need 60 by min b'mino. Mishnah. A non-Jew was schlepping jugs of wine from one place to another, along with the Jew. If it's in a protected chazaka, which we'll explain what that is. So, for example, im hoidio shu maflig. If the non-Jew tells if the Jew tells the non-Jew that he's going far away, so then we have to be concerned. The question is, how much time is it going to be permitted before it becomes prohibited? If there's no Jew there, Kedei sheyishtam, he has enough time that he makes a hole in the barrel, the yistam, and then he has to seal it up, the yigov, and dry it up, because otherwise the Jew will know that he was fooling around with it. So it's permitted that period of time. After that, it's also. Rav Shimon Gamliel Oimer, he gives a longer shear. You have to actually break the top, the yigov, make a new one, the tigov, and dry it up, period. So it's a longer shear that it would be permitted until he reached that stage. Person loaded up his wine in a wagon or a boat. And he takes a shortcut away from there. And the non-Jew doesn't really know when the Jew is going to return. Even if nichnas limedina v'rochats, even if he went into the metropolitan area and went to the bathhouse, mutter, because the goy won't do something because he's afraid that the Jew will come back any moment. Now, im hoidio shu maflig, if the Jew tells the non-Jew that he's going away for a period of time, so again, it's mutter until kadesh yishtam v'yigov, and shegalo oimer kadesh yivdach zachavis v'yigov v'tigov. The same machlokas. Haminiach nochri b'chanut. A Jew has a grocery store, and he has wine there, and he leaves a non-Jew in the store. Aval pi sheyotzav v'nichnas. Even though the Jew goes out, comes back in, goes out, comes back in, he's not there all the time. Mutter. That's the concept of yotzev v'nichnas. The goy is afraid. He doesn't know when the Jew is going to come back, so we assume he's not going to touch it. Im hoidiu shu maflig. But if the Jew tells him, I'm going to be gone for a few hours, so it's mutter until kadesh yishtav v'yigov, which is the period of time that it would take for the non-Jew to get to the wine. the Jew is eating with a non-Jew on a table. V'yaniach laginim ala shulchan. He has these little jugs of wine, and the Jew puts them on the table. And v'login ala dulfki. The dulfki is like the serving table on the side. He puts it there. In these cases, mutter, because the Jew is there with the goy is not going to do it. Excuse me. Now, if the Jew leaves, what's on the table is usher, because we assume that the non-Jew took it and drank it. But those little jugs that were placed on the side table, shaladuf kumi mutter. He's not going to be matriach to go over there. However, if the Jew said to the non-Jew, Havi moizik v'shoiseh, go ahead and dilute whatever wine you want and drink. So then, av shaladuf ki also, then all the wine in the room would be prohibited. Chavios psuchos, any open barrels, asuros. Stumos, sealed, ptuchos. Stumos mutaros. As it's mutter until kadesh yiftach v'yigov tigov. If he left, again, he would have that period of time until he opens it up, then it would be usher. The Mishnah said that imhaya b'cheskas hamishtamer. What is that? Hechi dami b'cheskas hamishtamer. Kiritanya. Hareisha ayu chamor v'poalav. He had workers who were amei haaretz, te'unin taharos, that were carrying and schlepping wine or other fruit that were processed b'tahara. And he warns them not to touch it. He just doesn't know if they did or not. Afilu hiflik man yoser mimil, even if he leaves them for more than a kilometer to Arosav Tahirov. Because he warned them, they're concerned that he's going to see them. Im Amar Lehan lechuvani ba'achrechem, he says, go on the road, I'll follow you. And therefore the Amiharts know that he's not with them. Kivan shnes ama einu mehem. Once they can't see him, taros of tmeos. So the question is, Maishna Reisha, where we said that if he left them for a period of time, it remains tahara, yoser mimil. U'Maishna Seifa, that it's after nisamu me'ayin, it's tame. Amrav Yitzchak, Reisha b'metar chamor v'polav l'kach. He brought them to the mikvah, so they know that he's makpid on the tumah v'tahara. So we're not choishish. Well, the Gemara says, "Yachi seifa nami." Well, why would the seifa be any difference? If he was metar them, then we shouldn't be choishish. So ein amaretz makpid al magach chavero. And amaretz might care about what he touches, but not necessarily what his friend touches. So even though they are tahor, maybe somebody else touched it, and they're not makpid on that. So we should have assered even in the Reisha. Amarava, b'volem dercha kalosol. The balabayas can come back to them in a shortcut way, and they don't know for sure where he's coming from, so they're afraid. So it's mutter. Iachi seifa nami. So why don't we just say the same worry in the seifa? It should be mutter. Kivan sharmalam lechuv ani ba'achrechem. Since he said, go and I'll follow you, Samcha Datayu, they are so mechdas that he's not going to surprise them. Aminiach nochru b'chanuso. And then Aminiach yain b'krono b'sfina. We had two cases. He left a non-Jew with him in the store, or he loaded wine onto a boat. Why do I need both cases? Tricha. The Itana Nochri, that the Nochri was helping him move barrels. So the Sover Dilma Asav Chazile. There we say it's mutter because the owner's going to show up anytime and see what he does. Avabakrona Besfina. when they load barrels of wine into a boat, Ema, mafik lo l'sfinosov of it by the boy. The boat's going to be very far from here. He can do whatever he wants. So that's why we have to be told that over there, it's not so. If I were told by the wagon or the boat, so there maybe the non-Jews worried. He's worried the Jew's going to come through a different derech, or he's going to be on the bank of the river and see what he does. But the non-Jew in the store, once he closes the door, he can do whatever he wants in the store. Kamash Malan, that the din is the same. We're not choishish because he's concerned that the Jew may see what he does. This machloek is between the Chachamim, where they said it's only the amount of time to make a hole in the barrel, in the top, and to seal it. Or Gamliel said the whole top is going to be removed. That's when they're talking about shel sid. When they're using lime, where sealing up a hole is not going to be identifiable. So that's and therefore, up at that point, it becomes usher. Avabishal tit. But if the sealing was done like with cement, where you can see a new hole, divrei hakol, the wine is not prohibited. Ad kidei sheyiftach v'yigov yigov. It's not just enough to make a hole. Even the Chachamim would agree, like Rab Shimon, that it's the amount of time it takes you to remove the whole top of the barrel. Meisvei. Am Rav Shimon Gamliel Chachamim. V'halastumu nikar bein ma bein lamata. You guys say that it's the period of time to make a hole, but the hole is going to be recognizable, and therefore the goy is going to be afraid to just do that. So iyam bishul ma bishul tit machloikes. If it is in machloikes of cement, hanu diktomi. That's why Rav Shimon made a comment to them. Stumer nikar bein mal bein lamata, because it's identifiable everywhere. Eli iyam bishul sit machloikes. If the machloikes is only by lime. So bishma lamata yediyah. You can't fill up the hole on the bottom completely with lime. So there remains a hole there. Lamala halo yediyah. But you can do it on the top. And Rav Shimon Gamliel, hu shelo yada, my kam rabbanon. Rav Shimon Gamliel didn't know exactly what the Chachamim were saying. V'achi kamer luhu. Ibetit kamri to, if your shita is when you're using cement, so there's tumo nikar be'im la be'lamata. We're going to know that there's goy both on the top and on the bottom. Ibe shall sid kamrid. If you're talking about lime, the he shall malalo yadia. Fine. The Jew won't know if he does it lamala, but lamata mea yadia. So you need. So it's not enough to say that the shear is to make a hole. It's got to remove the whole top. But Rabbanon, how do they respond? Kivan shlamala lo yadia. Since if the guy makes a hole and fills it, he's not going to recognize it on top. So the goy is not going to think that the Jew is going to inspect everything. Or inami zin in the cholim. That by itself, the bottom hole will fill up on itself. Amarava, halacha Rav Shimon Gamliel. The halacha is not like the Chachamim, that the period of time that it's mutter is up until only you make a hole. It's a longer period of time, till when you remove the top of the barrel. Because the Mishnah, I'll bring you another Mishnah that paskin like Reb Shimon. It's not. Later on in our Mishnah, the case where the Jew ate a meal with the non-Jew. And there were jugs of wine on the table. And lagin ala dulviki, and on the side table. Viniach v'yatsa, and the Jew stepped out. Mashal shulchan aser, that's prohibited because Avada he drank from it. Mashal dulviki mutter, but he had to get up, etc. That he's not going to do. V'imomer lo, but if he gave him blanket permission, avi mazik v'shoisa, dilute what you want, drink what you want, then afshal adulviki aser, then even on the side table would be prohibited. Chavios psuchos, open barrels is asuros. We're worried he's going to do something. Stumos mutars. He doesn't have the time to undo a barrel, so they remain mutar. Up until Kadesh Yiftach V'Yigov Yitigov, until he remove the time it takes to remove the top and to seal it. So the Mishnah Paskin b'mefurish like Rav Shimon Gamliel. So the Gemara says Pshita. I mean, what's the chiddush? The Mishnah clearly Paskin like him. Not the same. Kula Rav Shimon Gamliel Tanila. Maybe the whole Mishnah is Rav Shimon Gamliel. Kamash Balan, no, that there was a machlokas. V'chimeakar the kaimelon kavose. So you've established that the halacha is like Rav Shimon Gamliel, the lochaish l'shesuma. That it's not, we're not worried they made holes in it. We're worried that eventually he's going to remove the whole barrel. But the problem is, as the Hilchos Kavosei Rabbi Elazar, the lo chayish l'ziyufa. We have another principle, Rabbi Eliezer, where there's a lot of tircha. There's a lot of tircha to remove a barrel and to seal it. We're not choishish by goy. So based on that, ha'idna my time almost vin chamra. Today, in the time of the Gemara asks, why can't we leave wine in closed barrels in the hands of goyim? If this principle, Rabbi Elazar, the lochaish l'ziyufa, then we should be able to leave barrels with non-Jews. Mishum shaycha. Because there is a possibility that he can make a small hole. Or there may be a hole there, and the goy is going to widen it and drink from there. Based on that, it's usher. Some say sealed barrels are mutter. Wine only needs one seal, doesn't need two seals. And if it's sealed with a top, it's like a seal. Ramos says you can be soymich on that behefsed meruba. Amar Rava, Zoina Goya. You have a non-Jewish prostitute. The Yisrael Mesubin Etzla. And a Jew is visiting her. And there's wine, open wine. Chamra Shari. The wine is permitted. Nihi. The Takiflu Yitzur Davera. The sexual Yetzer Hara is stronger. Is the stronger taiva. And Yitzur De'anesach lo takifluhu. And they will be careful with the zona to prevent her from being menasach yayin. Even though they're there for immoral purposes, it's two types of immorality. And we'll continue with the zona Yisraelis next. Tomorrow, 7:00.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead, everybody.
We're meeting at 8 o'clock, yeah?